Hello. Hello, brother. From another mister. How are you doing? I've got a lot of different news, brother. I hope we could get more people in here so that I could be sure to get the news out there. And I will be sharing my screen so that y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right. You're good, brother? Well, that's good. So I'm going to get them back over here. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. Oh, why did you block the screen? I did not want to block the screen. Okay. I hate how that does that. All right. Let me retry that again. That's good, brother. Share screen. Select window screen. Okay. StreamYard. Entire screen. Allow. Okay. Hey, brother, this is a Clarksville man. He was convicted of attempting to persuade a minor to engage in unlawful sex activity and other crimes. This was in Nashville, September 22nd, 2022. A Clarksville, Tennessee man was convicted yesterday, which was, I don't know, yesterday was September 21st, I guess, according to that, of attempting to persuade a minor to engage in unlawful sexual activity, attempted to transfer obscene material to an individual under the age of 16, and destruction of evidence to prevent search or seizure, announced U.S. Attorney Mark H. Wildassen. I guess that's how you would say that name right there. For the Middle District of Tennessee. Kevin Figueroa, 33, was found guilty of all counts following a bench trial before Chief U.S. District Judge Waverly D. Crenshaw, Jr. Figueroa was indicted in April following an investigation that began in November 2019. After Figueroa initiated online contact with an undercover FBI agent who was posing as a 15-year-old female, Figueroa used the profile of Spike TKRO, which identified him as a 25-year-old male living in Nashville, Tennessee, and was communicating through the online dating application Meet 24. Figueroa continued to message the undercover agent even after confirming the undercover persona used by the agent was a 15-year-old female. He also sent a picture of his penis. Figueroa continued to communicate with the undercover agent and proposed meeting for sexual activity on November 26, 2019. The meeting was arranged, however, Figueroa failed to show. In December 2019, Figueroa again initiated contact with the undercover agent, this time using the mobile dating application Meet Me and the profile of Kevin F., a 32-year-old male living in Clarksville. Figueroa turned the conversation to a sexual nature and again suggested meeting for sexual activity, again after confirming the undercover persona was a 15-year-old female. A meeting was eventually arranged for March 17, 2020, at the purported residence of the minor female. When Figueroa arrived at the location, he was met by FBI agents and detained. When Figueroa learned that the agents intended to seize his cell phone, He quickly deleted the Kik messaging application and attempted to delete the Plenty of Fish dating application. During the course of the investigation and after being charged with these crimes, agents learned that Figueroa had engaged in sexual activity with multiple minor victims before his initial contact with the undercover agent. Figueroa faces a mandatory minimum of 10 years and up to life in prison when he is sentenced on December when he was sentenced on December 2nd, 2022. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Monica Morrison and Robert E. McGuire prosecuted the case. Okay. Is there anything you would like to say? Thank you, bro. That is a pig and that is a piece of crap, as you would say. You remember the other day when I was telling about the story about that the girl that the guy had tried to kidnap, the 8-year-old girl here in Tennessee? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share that again as well. My screen. Your screen. Our screen. Allow. Okay. And as this says, it's right here. Keep your eyes on your kids all the time. Franklin mom concerned at their frightening encounter at Goodwill. And this was posted on February the 14th, 2023, which happened on February the 10th or February the 11th. It happened on a Friday. A Franklin mom is on edge after a frightening experience. A stranger reportedly approached her child in a local Goodwill a few days ago. The mother, Maddie, said everything happened in a split second. She and her two daughters, 8 and 10 years old, were having a good time shopping around a Goodwill store on Murfreesboro Road in Franklin on February 10th, but that quickly changed. We were just kind of browsing Goodwill for fun. I had my one daughter. She was sitting in the cart next to me reading a book that she had grabbed. And then my other daughter was looking at shoes, Maddie said. Her 8-year-old was sitting in a cart within arm's reach of her. Maddie turned around with her 10-year-old, and a moment later, she heard her youngest crying for her. My one daughter just grabs my arm and screams, Mom, Mommy! And I turned around and there's a man next to her, and he's like, Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, Maddie said. According to Maddie, the stranger then looked over to the young girl and said, Next time you should yell louder to your mom. She was like, He was trying to take me. He was trying to take me. She was so distraught, and he wouldn't leave. It was so awkward. He wouldn't leave. I didn't know what was going on. I walked away with her. I got her calmed down and said, I need you to tell me exactly what happened. And she said, He walked over to me and he went, Shh. And then he started pulling a cart away from towards him, like taking a cart away, Maddie said. Maddie reported the incident to Franklin police, who found the man a few hours later. He admitted that he was there and that he scared the little girl, but at that point there wasn't anything arrestable at the moment. Hold on. There wasn't anything arrestable at the moment. I'm just glad to know they have all that on record, Maddie said. Maddie said her experience should serve as a powerful reminder for parents. Keep your eyes on your kids at all times. Don't get too comfortable anywhere. Franklin is a great town. It didn't seem like there were bad people in Franklin, but then something like this happens. We just need to be careful and watching out for other people's kids. If you see something going on and other children that doesn't seem right, just be willing to step up and say something, says Maddie. Maddie told News 2 she thankful her daughter spoke up before anything worse could have happened. See, and what's wrong? What do you see wrong with this, y'all? What did you see wrong? No arrestable offense? What? Oh, yeah, it is. Don't y'all think so? Attempted kidnapping, child endangerment. They said they can't catch a lot of these pedophiles and predators that try to kidnap our kids. And then they had one right there, a possibility right there, y'all. And then they do nothing. Not an arrestable offense. What are you waiting for? The kid to be kidnapped and maybe found dead later on the side of the road, or what? What are you waiting on? There's too many statistics out there. What if it would have been a child in that cart who could not scream because they were autistic and were not able to have a voice? It would have been too late for that child. That child wouldn't have been able to scream. So I am very mad about them saying, the police actually saying there is nothing we're going to do about it. There's no arrestable offense. Can they not get real? Isn't it about serving the protecting the kids in the community? Somebody even touched the cart and tried to move the cart of your child away from the mother. He even told her to shh, don't say a word, you know? I'm so tired of all them adults when I was younger going, shh, don't say nothing. Of course, as a kid, I was too afraid to say anything because I felt like no one was going to protect me regardless. So, right here, I blame the cops for doing nothing. Not an arrestable offense. BS. They could tell me another lie if they like. And you know what, y'all, Tennessee police officers, I've been telling people Tennessee's a good state that they will serve and protect. But since I lived here, y'all haven't protected me none. None. I asked y'all to let me file a report against the guy that caused me to end up in the hospital. Y'all just drove by and waved at me. Y'all never even came by and would take even a police report. Serve and protect whom? Yourselves. I will stand up against this. And I don't care even until my dying days, I would do this. Because these kind of things should not be happening. Oh, there's too many sex offense crimes in here. There's too many child missings. There's nothing we can do about it. We're doing the best we can. Utter BS. The best you can. Y'all went and found that perpetrator. That perpetrator admitted to scaring the kid, admitted to grabbing the cart, admitted to all this. But no arrestable offense? Something is very wrong with this picture, y'all. You know, the mother is proud of the daughter for speaking out. But what about the police officer who they felt like they could protect? You know, who would, who they could depend on to protect them? What about that? So my next thing, I was wanting to discuss about this former Clarksville school nurse. She pleads guilty to child pornography charges. A school nurse, y'all. Somebody that has charge and control where your kids go to school, y'all. Okay. Can you see this, bro? Did you see that? He admitted to your wife's abuser admitted to molesting her and five of her friends, and he walked right out of the courtroom. Oh man, that is horrible, bro. That is horrible. He admitted to it? Oh boy. On Wednesday, this was written September 28, 2022. And here is where it says the former Clarksville school nurse pleads guilty to child pornography charges. The former Clarksville school nurse pled guilty today in a U.S. District Court to 25 counts of attempting to produce child pornography. Attempting to produce it. Leon B. Hensley, 41, pleaded guilty prior to the start of a bench trial, which was scheduled to begin that day of September 28th. Okay. Hensley, a former nurse at Northeast High School in Clarksville, was initially charged and arrested in May 2021 following an investigation into allegations that he sent a digital image via text message of a nude adult female to a minor female in the Clarksville, Tennessee area. Hensley had been communicating with a minor female via text and asked her to help him with a photo shoot by posing for photos. Subsequent investigation and a search of Hensley's phone revealed several images depicting the sexual exploitation of children. See, and he was put into a power over our kids at a school where we send our kids to learn and have an education. Not this type of education, y'all. The right type: history, reading, literature, math, those type of things. Not sex, not to be victimized. Ooh, sorry, getting a little bit wound up here. The devices also contain image files depicting unidentified females in hospital rooms, airports, and tanning beds, plus video files that appeared to be upskirt videos of adult and minor females. So he probably had cameras planted in different areas where he could look up the ladies' dresses, you would say. Looks like he probably had them in tanning salons and different places. I hope they checked out these different places where they could find where the videos were. That tanning place, wherever he was at, that needs to be highly investigated as well. Several hundred images were also discovered of minor females using the facilities of a particular bathroom. The images appear to have been taken by a hidden or concealed camera, which was positioned in front of the toilet seat at seat level in an apparent attempt to capture the lewd and lascivious display of the genitalia. Further investigation determined that the bathroom depicted in the images was a private student bathroom in the nurse's station. Oh, man. Geolocation data on other images showed some that were taken at Tenova Hospital in Clarksville, where Hensley was employed. Oh, man. Prior to his employment at NEHS. A suspending indictment returned in June charged Hensley with 25 counts of attempted to produce child pornography and enticing or coercing a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing child pornography. Hensley faces a mandatory minimum of 15 years in prison on each count. It better be 15 years in prison each count and up to life when he is sentenced on February 3rd. Now, I read another case where it was saying that this one guy was serving 11 years for each of the crimes, but no, in the total it was 11 years. It wasn't 11 years for each crime, as that newspaper article had said. That was false. 11 years for each individual crime. This is 25 counts of attempted, okay? So 25, 15 years for each of the 25, okay? This is horrible, y'all. This case is investigated by Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Secret Service, the FBI, and the Clarksville Police Department. Assistant U.S. Attorney Monica Morrison is prosecuting the case. Oh, man. Oh, man. That is wrong. Very wrong. He worked at the he worked at the hospital also? Wow. Makes you wonder why he got arrested. Why he got laid off, why he no longer worked at the hospital. How many people had known about this and didn't never report them? I bet there was some that knew and wouldn't report. This is scary. Sick. I'm sorry that your wife had to endure that as well. She didn't deserve it. And that's crazy. Justice was not served, get to know, for the people that had to put up with that man's behavior. Your wife did not deserve it just being, that's about like a slap in her face. Or even worse than that, it's like a knee in the groin area. You're already violated, and then you know that people aren't going to protect you. That's pretty scary. And nothing was done. Oh, man. That is horrible, ain't it? So, my next thing that I wanted to discuss. What? Her mom is on report? Well, the good thing is about your mom did not deserve having a child. She wants a treat. Your wife like that, she did not deserve a child. I'm so sorry. Lots of love for your wife, for the victims. Hey, I could be her internet mom. Here's another one right here. This was October 31st, 2022. And it's like you could see up here, Justice Gov, registered sex offender sentenced to 15 years in prison for latest online conduct. This was October 31st, 2022. This was a registered sex offender from Kansas City, Kansas, was sentenced in the U.S. District Court in Nashville on Friday to 15 years in prison for attempting to transfer obscene materials to a minor and engaging in this activity as a registered sex offender, announced U.S. Attorney Mark H. Wadeson for the Middle District of Tennessee. Sean Glacier, 51, was indicted in July and pled guilty in August after engaging in online communications with an undercover FBI agent who he believed to be 13 years old and living in Clarksville, Tennessee. Earlier this year, Glazer used an online dating application to initiate a conversation with the undercover agent, believing that the undercover was a 13-year-old female. Glazer turned the conversation to a sexual nature and began requesting nude and explicit photographs. At one point, Glazer sent the undercover agent a photograph of his penis. On June 22nd, 2022, the FBI executed a search warrant at Glazer's home and arrested him. The subsequent investigation determined that Glazer had been convicted in Missouri in 2006 of attempting to entice a minor to engage in sexual activity and interstate travel to attempt to engage in sexual act with a minor, which required him to register as a sex offender. See, even though he was registered as a sex offender in 2006, he still did it. He still continued his lewd behavior. How many others in person in the area where he lives has he actually violated as well? This case was investigated by the FBI and was prosecuted by Assistant Attorney, U.S. Attorney Monica Morrison. Boy, I have to take breaks in between this, y'all. Sorry, this just kind of gets me. This just really gets me. It happens too often. And yet, police are saying like that other thing was not an arrestable offense. Excuse me, get a life, get a grip, do your job, please. Your job is to serve and protect. It ain't to go like this and coddle and help the people that's actually doing these crimes. Now here's one that was this was a registered sex offender from West Virginia indicted on child pornography charges. And this was just Friday, January the 13th, 2023. A registered sex offender from Morgantown, West Virginia was arraigned in U.S. District Court in Nashville Wednesday on charges of attempted to produce child pornography and attempted to transfer obscene material to a minor through interstate commerce, announced U.S. Attorney Henry C. Leventis for the Middle District of Tennessee. Sean J. Sanders, 44, was indicted in November 2022 by a federal grand jury in Nashville after using a messaging app to contact whom he believed was a 13-year-old female, but in fact an undercover FBI agent. During the online conversation, which occurred in July 2022, Sanders sent obscene photos and videos, including photos of himself, clothed and unclothed, and requested the purported minor female send him obscene photos of her. Sanders was arrested in West Virginia in December and was recently transported to Middle District of Tennessee for further proceedings. If convicted, he faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison and an additional 10 years in prison for committing these offenses as a registered sex offender. This case was investigated by the FBI. Assistant U.S. Attorney Monica Morrison is prosecuting the case. An indictment is merely an accusation. The defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Presumed innocent? I don't think so. He's not presumed innocent with me. And this one right here, this was biker group conducts an underage sex sting operation in Cheatham County here in Tennessee. This was December the 13th. This was posted on December 13th, 2022, and updated December the 14th. The reason why I share these things because I'm a spokesperson against these things happening. I am not doing this for monetary value. I'm doing this as learning, teaching, and the like. In Cheatham County, Tennessee, two Middle Tennessee men are facing felony sex charges after they allegedly drive to Cheatham County believing they are going to have sex with a 14-year-old girl. It turns out it's a sting operation conducted not by law enforcement, but by a private, not-for-profit organization out of Indiana known as Bikers Against Predators. I'm going to give Bikers Against Predators thumbs up. I'm going to give them claps. Thank you so much for trying to protect our children. These would not have been caught unless, according to their website, Bikers Against Predators is a 501c3 nonprofit that is acting against online child predators. Their mission is to expose online predators, to help spread awareness and education to as many citizens as possible while having these predators face justice for their crimes. On Friday, December 9th, the organization lured two men to Cheatham County. The group, operating without law enforcement knowledge, broadcasts the encounter live on Facebook page. The first man to arrive was 22-year-old Kyle Lovett from Charlotte, Tennessee. Cheatham County investigators, who will later become involved in the case, said he was lured to the home after going online and chatting with a person he believed to be a 14-year-old girl. They were lured here under the pretense that they were meeting the underage child for sex. After a few minutes of talking to the female decoy, who looks young but is an adult, the president of the Bikers Against Predators, known as Boots, enters the room. While recording, he confronts Lovett about his intentions. Around the same time, a Cheatham County deputy also arrives at the scene. The deputy was not part of the sting and only comes to the home after he is called by the BAT president. On the video, you can hear the interaction between the men in the room. Boots, let me close this out right here. Okay. Boots says, Kyle, this is a serious offense. Lovett, I know, sir. Boots, you talked about cuddling. I hope you like being the little spoon. Lovett, I may seem like a pedophile. Boots says, why you say that? Lovett says, because I did say all that stuff in those text messages. Boots, what you thought was a minor. Female decoy, do you agree that's predatory behavior? Lovett said, yes, it is. A short time later, the sting operation lured another man to the house, 35-year-old Beulah Nasrat from Laverne, Tennessee. Once again, the Cheatham County Sheriff's Department is called and the man is arrested. You say, how old are you? She and I turned 14 in March, the BAP president said to the suspect during a live arrest. He then explained what his organization is and what he's doing there. I'll let you know now, I am not law enforcement, but I did call law enforcement out here. We run an online organization, Bikers Against Predators, and we expose online child predators to the community. You thought a 13-year-old child was here alone today. Nasrat responded, I swear to God, I didn't know. Boots replied, that's what they always say. I swear I didn't know, I didn't know. I promise you I didn't know. I didn't want to come here to have sex. I'm not that kind of guy. Boots replied, she told you multiple times. Lieutenant Miller applauds the effort, but the group's tactics do give him pause for concern. He said there are certain processes we have to follow to prosecute a case. There are certain steps we take in order to ensure the integrity of our evidence, the validity of our charges when we charge these people with a crime and a general safety, said Miller. But what most people don't understand is the process that goes on behind the scenes to build this case is where we can successfully prosecute it. That's our big concern here, that we want to make sure that whatever we do is going to stand the test of the court system. Miller said it would be much better if the group called sheriff's officials once the suspect has been identified so law officers can professionally handle the arrest. According to members of the group, they have executed close to 200 of these stings in multiple states. Both men are charged with attempted statutory rape. Nasrat is also charged with solicitation of a minor. And I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to hear the video or not, but I'll do my best to try to play it, see if you can hear it. It's got to get past the. Oh, it didn't do that. It's not doing that story that it needed to do. Why ain't it doing that video? But Anyway, I tried to get on there and make that alert. And I bet you, though, that you could go ahead and go to YouTube and see that too, as well. Also, my friend Ronald Stock Ronald Stockton, he's with. Let me go to StreamYard right here. Let me go to banners, and I'm gonna go. He's got. You see the link at the bottom of the page there. He's with that organization. All right. He has got. Get off that banner now. Go to comments, and I want to go ahead and share the screen on and show you what's going on with my friend here. All right. This is my friend Ronald Stockton right here. You see this painting that he did? He did it using toothpicks, not a brush, an art brush, just plain toothpicks and paint. So all his paintings are done with toothpicks, no brushes ever used. I had trouble finding him at Instagram under the toothpick painting or toothpick paintings. All paintings are originals, no copies. According to his doctor, his life expectancy has been shortened. His illness has finally caught up with him. He does not want his paintings sitting in his house, not being enjoyed by others after he's gone. Therefore, he's selling his paintings at his cost. He said he'll be taking bids for the next 2 weeks to the highest bidder. You click on the paint that you are interested in and leave a bid in the right side of the picture explanation section. At the end of the 2 weeks, he will ship the pictures to the highest bidder. His cost, each kit that he purchased to cost him $25 from China. He spent 40 to 60 hours painting the picture. Frames cost him $50. Shipping cost is about $35. So the minimum bid will start at 60 for the cost of shipping and the kit. If you want the frame, it will cost $50 more or 110 for the reserve bid. Here's your final chance to own one of the pictures. Please help me to get these out of the house. Love and God bless. Okay? So now I'm going to his painting picture stuff and show you some of his beautiful artwork. Here's here's one of the pictures. Right. All right. There's another. I love that dragonfly floral. Look at this locomotive. Log train, 16 by 20, acrylic on canvas board. It was going to be 429. He thinks the old trains were better to look at than these modern ones. Trains moved a lot of freight in their day, mostly done by truck now. Don't think trains will ever go out of style, though. Have you seen all the flying cars they are experimenting with? That will be the future. Ground transportation is getting so crowded that we're going to be forced to the sky. This is called Loretta. It's on 20 by 16 acrylic on canvas. This is to honor his paternal grandmother. Paternal means his father's mother. Most of the family will tell you that I was her pet. I was her favorite grandchild, her favored. Of course, as a child, I ate it up. We were close, and she and my children were close. She was living with me when she passed. Memories like that last a lifetime. Log cabin porch, 20 by 14 acrylic on canvas board. Very colorful and good for a man cave. Yeah, for a hunting lodge. I know a lot of guys that would probably like that. This is called Fishing Lodge. It's a 14 by 20 acrylic on canvas board. And there's teddy bear tea. Get a little girl having tea with her teddy bears. This is called War. 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. Started in a series. Everyone loves Native Americans. Barnyard Memories. 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas board. See, if y'all can see the link up here, it is facebook.com, toothpick painting. That's what his profile thing said, toothpick painting. So that's that dragonfly one. I love this Donna's acrylic on canvas, 20 by 16. One of his best friends that died too early, just at the age of 44. If you ever had a best friend, then you know how they can make a major influence on your life. Donna's died with cancer and had the largest funeral of anyone he's ever seen. She's very active in our community and helping people. The two preachers that it took to do her funeral compared her to Dorcas in the Bible. Here's Sheila, his daughter, acrylic on canvas 20 by 16. Anyone who had a daughter knows they are a major influence on your life. Well, mine certainly has, and there is more to come. She gave me two grandkids and two great grandkids. Now they are influencing me. Here's Ginger, acrylic on canvas, 20 by 16. His wife, she has to have more influence on me than any woman I know. This is a 20 by 16 acrylic on canvas. I believe these are irises. Pretty like her. This will look good anywhere you want to hang it. This is Hunting Lodge. This is a 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. He did a fishing lodge. Y'all seen the fishing and hunting lodge picture a minute ago as well. This is Linda acrylic on canvas, 18 by 20. It is larger than he usually does because it's 18 by 20. This is second bouquet in a series for ladies who have influenced his life. This one is for his little sister. Our siblings play a major role in who we are. I put three views on here because my camera is not getting the view I want. This is much prettier in person. This is Mermaid Love, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. This one is Summer Evening. It's on a beautiful lake scene, 16 by 20. Can you believe these are toothpick paintings? Scorned Woman, Scorned Native American Woman, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. London Bridge, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. A unique painting for those who travel. Thanks for your interest. This one hangs without a frame. This is Spring Mill, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. Valley Dell, 18 by 20 acrylic on canvas. First large picture he did. Oh, look at this Native American picture. Love, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas. This is Peace. This is the first of the four Indian pictures that he had ever done. This is a treehouse. I think that was the very first picture that it's shown, but it didn't have a name on it. It's Pirates of the Caribbean, 16 by 20 on canvas. Thomas Kincaid's Country Home, 16 by 20 acrylic on canvas board. Of course, this was my friend Ron Stockton's depiction using toothpicks. Thomas of it. All right. Rest Stop, 16 by 20 acrylic on paintboard. Hawaii. Now that's my favorite one right here. I've got a copy of sent me a copy. I got it over there. So I thank him for that. Waterfall, 20 by 16 acrylic on canvas. see what he said about a cub. I didn't notice that. It said there's a bear and a cub in this one. It's right. There's the bear. There's a little cub right there. Thomas Kincaid's mountain cabin. Stone house. One of his favorites hanging in his bedroom. Also 20 by 16 acrylic on canvas. This paint was one of his earlier ones. Like I said, he's taking bids. These are not the actual prices he's doing right now. He wants bids on these and to get them out. The violin is a 20 by 14 acrylic. Lazy Summer. Another man cave painting with car enthusiast. Yesterday. Yeah, I think you've seen all that. All right. So stop that on that. I want to thank everybody who came in. If there's anything you'd like to discuss right now, we've got time. We can discuss things. Get to know, are you still here? If anybody, whoever's here, can you please say hello right quick so I know you're here? You are here? Yay. I want to go to the website where, so I guess you can tell by the writing that he's not expected to make it much longer, so need to support him while we can. Okay, I'm going to go to share my screen again. Present. Share screen. I'm going to go to his website just so that y'all can see. Allow. Okay. They got this thing about getting a 500 shopping discount savings card for a donation of $25. So if you give $25, there's shopping discount card. Use the donate now button to participate. Let's build a better world together. Our mission, our purpose is supply funds directly to help stop human trafficking by raiding these criminal hideouts and rescuing victims. Human trafficking rescue concert and telethon has been postponed until further notice. There's supposed to be more people. There's more people that's working to help stop trafficking. Either going like and they're helping support victims, generating public education, and education to our youth. Rudy Rutledger harbored a dream to play for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team despite being undersized at 5'6" and 165 pounds. Head coach Eric Persigian encouraged walk-on players from the student body. After tremendous hard work, Rediger earned a place on the Notre Dame scout team, a squad that helps the varsity team practice for games. Nowadays, Rediger is a motivational speaker and an author. Get involved and stop trafficking. Become a volunteer. There's videos here. That's the problem of human trafficking. Um, Up here also there's our mission, our board. It's got different ways to contact people. Here is the chairman of the board, Tom Schillenlow. He served in the U.S. Air Force for 5 years of active duty in nuclear security. For those years he was in Europe. Tom has an associate's degree in computer engineering received in 1992. His wife is chairman of the board. She has an associate's degree in programming received in 1993. She also has a bachelor's degree in computer information systems received from High Point University in 2001. Ronald Stockton is the one who decided that this child trafficking, human trafficking, needs to be dealt with, even though he didn't have to personally deal with it. He was hearing of a lot of cases, and so he devised a plan and he came up with this website and this charity organization. After high school, he attended Freed-Hardeman University in Henderson, Tennessee, and the Bear Valley School of Preaching in Denver, Colorado. After 10 years in the ministry, he had a heart attack from stress and was forced to change careers. He went to the insurance and did corporate major medical and Aflac. Transferred to financial planning and retirement planning. Owned First Fidelity Financial in Lexington, North Carolina, and was forced into retirement in June of 2013 with cancer. He painted while recovering, which got me through some tough times. So the paintings that y'all had previously seen, he was doing this, and he does have cancer at the moment. He does have cancer throughout his body. I think in all organs but one, all major organs but one. For the last few years, he has conducted extensive research into the human trafficking problem in this country. Was totally surprised that it is as big as it is. He started Human Trafficking Rescue, Inc. in 2020 to alleviate the largest problem of all the charities have told me that have told me that they have money. Trafficking is evil that we cannot allow to go on and is worse than any cancer he has ever seen. These young people deserve better treatment than what they are getting. As Christians, we have a duty to try to put an end to the evil trafficking and the manifestation of pure evil. Now, Regina Romaine, she is a nice person. She has got some videos also where she talks about true crime. She's a network television producer, director, scriptwriter, author, and entrepreneur with a legacy of first time originals. Regina is the founder of the nation's first comedy entertainment magazine, UB Trippin'. And Tell It Like It Is magazine, wrapped in a comedy package with the hard hitting facts and stories about a comical society. Some featured artists included Jamie Foxx, Margaret Cho, Steve Harvey, Chris Tucker, and Arsenio Hall. As one of the first comedians featured, Steve Harvey honored the magazine with his live comedy concert, Still Trippin'. Suggestions have been made to include the magazine in the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. The very first screenplays Regina wrote, blood related, was optioned, and the very first reality TV show Regina created, Burns Barbecue, was sold. As producer of 20th Television's three-time Emmy Award-winning court TV series Christina's Court, it became the first court show to win a daytime Emmy. Regina is also creator of the first local cable program, the Thomas Webb Variety Hour minus 30, which increased viewer subscriptions to Time Warner. Non-cable viewers subscribe to the cable service just to view the most talked about program on TV. The Thomas Webb Variety Hour minus 30 is also winner of two Telly Awards for programming excellence and in comedy and entertainment. Regina is also the first to develop religious programs on Houston's PAX TV. Take one step further to become a proud volunteer. Connect to us. There is the P.O. Box 1905, Lexington, North Carolina, 27293, HTR, rescue at gmail.com. Go ahead and stop sharing there. All right. So with a lot of this information, I know that we're all advocates. We're all speaking out because this happens too often. We are not doing this for fame or glory. We are not doing this to try to just out people out or try to cause chaos or something. We want it dealt with. This is happening too often. These people, they deserve justice. We deserve justice. Me, myself, I am a victim of this. I deserve justice. Get to know deserves justice. His, his wife deserves justice. There's so many people who had to put up with this behavior from the people that's supposed to care about us. Sometimes, in my case, it was my parents. Sometimes, in my case, there was people that was in the city government. State trooper, for instance, was one of mine too. And his father was into child trafficking, child pornography. And I'm never going to have any kind of justice for it. And it's sad to say how the police force still do not listen. They've got copies of my books, and they know that I'm an advocate against this. And still, they basically, I feel like they treat me like I'm trash. You're not treated with the utmost respect. You're not treated like your opinion matters. You're not treated, hey, let's work together and get something done about this. No, they're not treating you like that at all. But that is something that they should treat us like. Let's work together. Survivor with the police. Let's get something done about this. If you really believe that there's a big problem out there, go to someone who's had this kind of thing. We got the knowledge. We're able to go like this and help out the best of our abilities. Y'all probably think that we're outspoken too much. No, we're not outspoken enough. Because evidently, we're having to still continue this because guess what? Nothing's being done. Nothing was done to that guy that tried to grab that girl. But he did grab the cart and stuff and took her physically, was removing her away from the mother. Physically, excuse me, but no crime. Stop failing society, y'all. Y'all are failing our kids. There are too many people who are bad parents that the Child Protective Service aren't doing nothing about, but then there's good parents who are taken away, children are taken away from. Even if they done everything that CPS requires of them, still nothing. I have a friend, well, I knew of this lady when I used to live in Alabama. She worked at a local Waffle House, and she lost her kids because they had this brittle bone disease. And if the kids just slightly fall with their brittle bones, they had a break. So they had to go back through, yes, and they had to go back through Child Protective Services and go to classes, and all that was needless. That was needless. When they found out it was not the parents' fault, that it was something that these two children were born with, why are you still making the parents making it look like it's still their fault? You're still reprimanding them, still keeping their kids away from them. Why aren't you saying, I'm sorry for doing this? Y'all need to be sued for every behavior that y'all do in this kind of incidents. Y'all are disgusting pieces of crap when it's not the parents' fault when something like this happened. Y'all should say, I'm sorry. We found out it's not your fault. Instead of making it look like it's the parents' fault and stuff like that, just to have more money into your pockets. Excuse me? Don't you think that the parents were doing the best they can? And they went like this and they proved that it was the doc. The doctors even proved it. The doctors told you repeatedly, and yet they could not get their kids back for 2 dang years? Sick. CPS, you're supposed to be with there to protect kids. This kids do not need protection from these parents. They need protection from y'all, from you, CPS. They needed protection from you being money hungry, being control freak. There are good instances when y'all have help, but there are a lot too many bad instances on where you damage the kids even more so. Work on doing the right thing. When you make a mistake, fix it right away. Don't be charging us taxpayers more and more money to do your convoluted actions. Y'all people make me sick. Every time I see a cop car go by, I see the words to serve and protect. You know what? I laugh. I laugh at it because I say, serve and protect whom? They never protected me. Serve and protect? Excuse me? And don't say that's bad of me if I don't want to hear none of y'all say that that's bad of me to think that way. Excuse me, you are not walking in my shoes to know what I am talking about. I lived it, and I still live it, and I still have to face these crooked cops who do nothing. And I do mean nothing. That guy across the street, even though he is mental, he has threatened little bitty toddlers because they were white effers, is what he called them. He said that he's going to come over there and knock them to the ground. He threatened these toddlers. He's threatened to this other guy that was another neighbor that he was going to pull his pants down and rape him in the rear until he bleeds. Excuse me? When I called the police, you know what the police said? Oh, he's mental. Excuse me, well, get him off the damn street. Don't let him come over. He was threatening mail carriers every time they went by or pulled into here. He was threatening them because they're white. But let us go like this and say, hey, you black, such and such. I'm not that way. Why are you allowing somebody to violate and disrupt and threaten everybody here? Right next to him, where he lives, there is a 5-year-old boy that goes over there every day. That man was so loud, calling everybody white MFers who deserve to die. That kid was constantly hearing that, and he was inside that house. There's been businesses that was delivering some items. Do you know, you would not believe how many people wanted to shoot that guy across the street because the guy was threatening them for just being white and delivering something here at one of the apartments. Excuse me, and yet the cops do nothing. You know he's mental. You know he's mental. I was put in the hospital because I got traumatic brain injuries, and when he was screaming from across the thing that he was going to come over here and do some things to me, even though I had my door closed, they say that echoes and stuff through glass it kind of makes an echoing. So it caused me another brain injury, and I have yet to go back to the neurologist about that. They have tried to get me in some of the time, but then there's like, what's the importance of you coming to the neurologist anyway? Like, now I tell them, I says, I don't give a rat's ass whether I go or not. I am a Christian lady, but I get sick and dang tired of them acting like I don't matter. We matter, people. We do not deserve to be treated like we're trash. We need to be respected and valued. We need to be treated like we're human beings, not trash the way that we continue to be treated. Without further ado, oh, get to know. Did you see that joke I went ahead and pasted at Facebook? And whoever else is here, hello. And the joke was about this guy that sped past the cop. But the cop turned on us, gave chase, started chasing him. But the guy went even faster, 90 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, 110 miles an hour. Then several miles down the road, he stopped to himself, oh, I better pull over. I'm going to get into serious trouble. So the police came up and said, hey, if you could give me one good reason why you were running away from me, I'll let you go without a ticket. So he said, well, my wife ran off with a police officer years ago, and when you turned your lights on and started chasing me, I was afraid you were bringing her back. And I laugh about that. And people say, "Yeah, your ex would probably say the same thing." But guess what? I'll say the same thing about some of my exes myself. I do not put up with abuse, nor want to go back around abuse. If they are not, and I get so sick and tired. Exactly. And you do kind of like get tired of people saying, "Oh, your ex-husband, he's a 100% a Christian guy. He's the best Christian guy there is." And I just kind of bite my tongue because I have no right to judge. But then on the other hand, you're telling me, but I'm not because I'm not with him. I'm not because I left him. Well, I decided to save my life. I wasn't going to be hit anymore. I wasn't going to be knocked for flips anymore. The threats, the police said he could hit me all he liked as long as he didn't kill me. So, excuse me? Yeah, Mr. Officer, I'm running away from you. I don't want you bringing me my ex-husband back. Oh, man. That's pretty good. Okay, well, I love y'all and thank y'all so much for being here for me. Get to know I'm so sorry I missed your video yesterday, but I was watching it earlier. I'm so glad that it looks like some of the things are turning around where some of these pedophiles are facing more time because it's some of these pedophiles they still need to go back in history and um, if they did not do their job then, they need to look back and look how they should do today. Go back and say we did not serve them the right kind of justice that these people deserved. They do not know the huge impact that it makes, and they do not know how this type of thing affects people the rest of their lives. It stole a lot of our innocence. It has messed with us in so many health ways. So tired of it, you all. And I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand proud. And I'm going to say I will continue to fight. And it's probably going to be against the police. It's probably going to be about anybody that's going to willingly not stand up for a kid. Guess what? I will proudly stand up for the kid. I will proudly say that. And anybody else watching this, please go follow Get to Know. He has his own channel as well. And I'm proud of you. Love you, bro. Love you, sister. And thanks so much. Remember to speak up, don't remain silent, and never lose hope. Bye for now, y'all.